Okay, by now just about everyone has heard about the lawsuit that's being brought against Tyler Perry by an actor from one of his shows called The Oval, Derek Dixon, who plays Dale, a gay homeless guy who works or worked at a pharmacy. I only watched a couple of seconds of this video, and it literally shows, or you can hear, Christian Keys, who plays the concierge on All the Queen's Men, describe what happened to him, and it's extremely similar to what Derek Dixon has described. And with most predators, they have a script they follow. For the most part, the script does not change. It's just the people involved with the script change. Okay, so this is from a YouTube channel called Hot Gossip. Monique flips back at Tyler Perry after shocking text leak. Fans left speechless. Now, the thumbnail for this video says, "Where's my $10 million?" Okay, Hot Gossip has put up a disclaimer, and I'm going to read it. Disclaimer: the content in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Our role is to report on public conversations, provide context, and where possible, debunk false claims and clarify what is true. We believe in ethical and responsible reporting, aiming to present a balanced view by verifying information and sharing all relevant sources to the best of our ability. We make sure to cite the sources from which this information was gathered, including articles, tweets, TikToks, and other online media. Unless otherwise stated, everything discussed in this video is considered alleged and not and should not be taken as fact. We encourage viewers to independently verify the facts and form their own opinions. Okay, whenever I find out I'm wrong on something, I do a video correcting it. But for the most part, I'm going to be reacting to this video and giving my opinions. Okay? From what I can say, I am a fan of a lot of Tyler Perry shows. I like Medea. I watch the shows The Oval, Ruthless, All the Queen's Men, Sisters, Zatima off and on. I watch different movies from Tyler Perry. The last one I saw was Straw. Amazing movie. Taraji P. Henson. I love her. She's amazing. But this Derek Dixon, I have said this from the first time I saw him. To me, he reminds me of Anna Nicole Smith. If you go look up Anna Nicole Smith's movies, I know I saw one. All it was soft porn and she couldn't act. I mean, it's one thing if you've got to deal with sex scenes, but the acting and the storyline is really good. The movie I saw, it was not. Okay? And he to me is like that. When he acts, he's very awkward. It's like he doesn't know what he's doing. Now, this lawsuit was filed, I believe, back in March, but it's coming to light now in June. Apparently, the sexual harassment that's been alleged by Derek Dixon from Tyler Perry has been happening for 6 years. What I find to be a big coincidence, this is the last season of The Oval. I believe there still might be 4 episodes left. I don't know. Because this season there was 18 episodes already. And this is the Oval's last season from what I've read. And it's been on for 6 seasons, which is 6 years. From what I've seen from the text and heard from the text, it seemed like a friendship, you know, a little da 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 here and there, but everything seemed consensual. Now, a lot of people who go through this stuff and it seems consensual say they wanted it to seem that way because of their boss, which in this case, Derek Dixon's boss is Tyler Perry. Now, I've heard some things. I heard Derek Dixon was supposed to be in Straw. Honest to God, I don't know as what. I saw the movie. What was he gonna do? Take over Sinbad's role? A disabled old man? One of the FBI agents? Like I said, the movie was fantastic, but in my opinion, Derek Dixon can't act. And it's not because I like Tyler Perry. I like a lot of the stuff Tyler Perry's done, but him as a person, I don't know much about. Now, his handler has been Oprah Winfrey. She has taken him under her wing, promoted him, and it's been alleged that Oprah has brought young women to Harvey Weinstein and that she's been involved in Diddy's after parties. Now, Monique did have problems with Tyler Perry before and Jordan Peele. After winning the Oscar, there were problems. They weren't hiring her. Whatever the reasons were. So maybe she's about to sue him too. I don't know. But I'm also looking on the side of this video, which is from a channel called Red Tea. And it says Tyler Perry's ex opens up on split and confirms lawsuit. She's suing him. So he's got a lot of court cases going on. I don't care if it's just 3. To me, that's a lot. You know, Derek Dixon wants $260 million. The thumbnail of this wants to know where's the $10 million, and it's a picture of Monique. So maybe he owes Monique $10 million, and now his ex is suing him. Now, the concierge, from what I've heard in different videos, has said he had problems with a a billionaire. I don't know if he said a black billionaire, but it was definitely someone he was in contact with. Now, I looked up Jordan Peele, I looked up Spike Lee, I looked up a bunch of guys that make movies. None of them are near billionaire status. Tyler Perry, according to Google, his net worth is $1.4 billion. So it stands to reason that could be the guy the concierge Christian Keys was talking about. Also, the couple of minutes of this video I heard sounds very familiar to Derek Dixon's story. Almost word for word, the same story. Now, that could mean Derek Dixon heard the story and decided to use it himself. Or it could mean Tyler Perry is a predator, and that's what he does. That's the script he follows. Let's check out this video from Hot Gossip.
Like, what the you doing, man? What the Oh, my bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again.
Oh, honey, hold on to your wigs because this one is nuclear. The drama swirling around Tyler Perry right now is so hot it's practically sizzling through Hollywood. Just a few days ago, things exploded when actor Derek Dixon threw down a lawsuit with the kind of accusations that make even seasoned insiders clutch their pearls. And the target? None other than media mogul Tyler Perry himself. According to Derek, Tyler lured him in with promises of fame, flashing those Hollywood dreams like shiny bait. Sound familiar? Yup, the classic trap. But this time, it's not just whispers in the wind. The lawsuit comes packed with shocking details and receipts that have everyone gasping. Now let's be honest. Nobody had Tyler Perry gets caught up in a full-blown Me Too style scandal on their 2025 bingo card. Sure, there have been whispers and speculation about Tyler's personal life, zesty rumors floating around for years, but this lawsuit just took everything to another dimension. And let's not forget, this ain't the first time someone's thrown side-eye at Tyler. Remember actor Christian Keys? Yeah, we're gonna come back to that tea in just a bit.
Sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room. Because he says it's safe. Because I know I'm bad, so I don't... After a big party, won't say what type.
Now, just those few seconds, Derek Dixon said something similar. He stayed overnight at Tyler Perry's home, and he claims while he was in bed, Tyler Perry got in bed with him and started rubbing on his inner thigh, or rubbing his thigh. This sounds eerily similar. I don't remember if Derek Dixon said he was drinking, but chances are he was. You go to these bigwigs' houses, they do give you a little bit of drink in order to loosen you up. You see it in movies, you see it in TV shows. Do you want a drink? And they may even say, well, what do you want? They could say a beer, they could say vodka on the rocks, they could say a margarita, they could say a mojito, they could say whatever they want. And then when they're done with the drink, they may have another and another and another, depending on how long they're there. If the conversation's going very well, excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, and they keep drinking, and it becomes almost like a party, like a little dinner party. But what Christian Keyes said sounds almost identical to Derek Dixon's. It may be identical. I haven't heard anyone say the text messages that Derek Dixon has put out in like 3 or 4 days. So it could be right on the money, word for word.
Him out like, what the get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man. All right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out, and he tries to grab you.
Now, something similar to that happened to Terry Crews at a party right in front of his wife. According to him, this guy who was a director or producer or something just walked right up to him and grabbed his crotch. I'm wondering how many more actors are going to come out.
Tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the you doing, man? What the Oh, my bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not breaking multiple bones in this person's face.
But first,
Now, if you remember with Harvey Weinstein, the girl who wore the wire for the police said something similar. She was told to meet Weinstein in his hotel room. There were drinks. I don't know if she had or not. But the more she tried to leave, the more he tried to stop her. Even when she went back wearing the wire. So, it's a pattern, it's a script. There may be little differences here and there depending on the person, but this is eerily similar to what Derek Dixon has said.
flames are roaring from Derek Dixon's accusations, and they are not fading into the background. He came for Tyler with assault claims so bold, people had to reread the headlines. So here's how it all allegedly went down. Back in 2019, Derek says he met Tyler at some industry event. Tyler supposedly locked eyes with him in the crowd, slid on over like a smooth operator, and asked for his number. Told him he had a role in mind. And to be fair, Tyler did put him in the show Ruthless, but baby, it was just 2 blink and you'll miss it episodes, hardly a career long.
Yeah, I've watched Ruthless. I don't remember his character Dale being in that show. I don't remember him being in the show. The Oval, yes. Ruthless, I don't remember seeing him unless he was one of the guys in the showers. In Ruthless, there's a cult. You go and live in the cult. It's communal showers. So he might have had the chiseled looks to be that, but I don't remember him in Ruthless, only Oval.
Launch. Still, Derek hung around trying to stay close to Tyler's world, hoping for a real break. That's when, according to him, the script flipped. Allegedly, Tyler started showing interest that went way beyond casting. Fast forward to January 2020. Derek says Tyler invited him over to his Atlanta mansion. He went thinking this was a career move. But what he walked into was something completely different. According to Derek, he ended up drinking too much and passed out in the guest room. And then the part that's got everyone's jaw on the floor. He says Tyler climbed into bed with him and started touching his thighs while he was sleeping. Even after Derek made it crystal clear he wasn't into it, Tyler allegedly didn't back off. And here's where it gets more twisted. Right after he rejected Tyler, boom, his role got bigger. Suddenly, he's in the Oval. It wasn't a lead, but it was a step up. And just when Derek thought things were turning around for him, the pressure from Tyler, according to his lawsuit, ramped up big time. Derek claims Tyler started texting him suggestive messages, being flirty, pushing personal boundaries. He even pointed out that the character he played was written as a gay, broke man who had to sleep with people to survive. And y'all, it gets even darker.
Doing these PR stunts. Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do that. Well, then speak on, if you gonna have classes of HBCUs after this sketchy shit, you wanna air him out too. I'm just tired of carrying this with me. I'm tired.
Okay, as for his role getting bigger and he played a gay man who had to sleep around in order to have a place to live, he started as a gay man living in his car. He met up with a Secret Service guy, had sex with him because he was attracted to him, and the Secret Service guy turned out to be like a stalker. And then Derek Dixon's character moved in with the pharmacy's owner. They were not having sex, but he lived there until he couldn't anymore. Then he moved in with, I don't know his name. He works at the White House. He's part of the White House staff. Um, he helps out Donald. I don't even remember what Donald is. Maybe he's the press secretary. I don't know. I don't remember. But he was living with that guy for a little while. Then Kyle found him, which is the Secret Service guy, got him, threatened him, and then he went and stayed with Kyle for a while. Still trying to get back with Donald's secretary guy because the secretary guy wasn't looking for anything. He let Dale sleep on the couch, everything was okay. But once Kyle found out where Dale was living, he had to go and stay with Kyle. Kyle was threatening him and holding something over him. But this whole thing where he's sleeping around to have a roof over his head, I don't know where that's come from. That's not what his character is or was. Just wanted to make that clarification.
Derek claims Tyler literally told him that's the kind of partner he wanted in real life, someone who would be loyal, dependent, and submissive. Derek says he tried to be polite and respectful because he didn't want to lose his role, but things allegedly spiraled. Later in 2020, Tyler invited him back to Atlanta. This time, things allegedly escalated to straight up scary. According to Derek, Tyler greeted him like a buddy, but then flipped the energy completely. He allegedly asked Derek if he liked it rough, then suddenly grabbed him by the throat and said, "Look how excited you just got." What? But hold on, because the darkest moment, according to the lawsuit, came in June 2021. Derek says
Arousal can happen with pain and fear. It's been scientifically proven. It doesn't mean you like it. It's like what's called morning wood. When a guy wakes up in the morning and he has an erection. It just happens. So it might have been fear that did that, and not in a good way, but it still gave him an erection.
he was in the guest house, chilling in his underwear, just about to call it a night, when Tyler came in again. This time, he says Tyler pulled down his underwear and grabbed his butt. Tyler allegedly whispered, "Relax, just let it happen. It's not going to hurt." Derek says he played it cool, switched the conversation fast, and got out of the situation. But the damage already done. Now, people are screaming that this feels exactly like the start of the Diddy spiral. First Cassie, then a flood of women came forward. Could this be the beginning of something similar for Tyler? Oh, and baby, Derek came with proof. Not just hearsay, actual texts. And let's just say, they're not what you'd expect from Uncle Tyler. Tyler allegedly asked him in one of the messages, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless intercourse? Have y'all found that yet in therapy?" What? Derek hit back sarcastically, saying he'd need to give up his religious guilt and become Buddhist. Tyler's response? Deep in the feelings. You can be free and still believe in Christ. Sounds like he was trying real hard to break down some walls. There's more. Tyler allegedly said, "Nice. Santa Monica is nice. I'm glad you're going out there. How's your no? Is it stronger? You gotta have a strong no." And Derek replied, "Yes, it's strong. My mom literally thinks I'm going to sell my soul to the Illuminati." Tyler came back with, "Well, I don't think that, but you do have to be able to say no, mean it, and make it clear." That message has fans raising eyebrows so high, they might stay there.
Right? And he said, "I can see the pain in you and I can hear it. And I want to let you know that I would never do nothing to hurt you." But the conversation kept going on. Only for Tyler Perry to admit he did start a rumor that I was difficult to work with. He lied.
And then the Oscar joke. Derek texted, "I'll only say yes if it gets me an Oscar." Just kidding. But Tyler, he wasn't laughing. He shot back. The only one who could have gotten that for you through intercourse is in prison. So just stick to the number. Wait, what? The internet lost it over that one. But Tyler wasn't done. In another message, he allegedly said, "I hope you'd let someone hold you and make love to you. You're missing the best years of your life." Like, what in the midlife crisis was going on? He even got jealous after seeing Derek in a photo shoot with another guy, saying things like, "You're so beautiful. When you finally unlock your mind, you're gonna drive that person crazy." Oop. And let's not forget when he admitted he was in that mood and blamed it on his testosterone. Please. That line had the whole internet in collective side-eye mode. Tyler allegedly kept texting like he was some lovesick teenager. In one message, he whined about going through 600 contacts and not wanting to talk to any of them. Not Uncle Tyler acting like a drama king. Then things got real cold. Tyler allegedly texted a warning, "If you let the cast know you and I have a new friendship, you're opening the door to a lot of questions. You want people to see you as talented, not someone who only got the job because of me or Tony." He then added the icy kicker, "When we go back to work, I'm not going to know you. I don't have friends that work with me. I never have." Woo, that flip was straight frostbite. It was like Tyler was drawing a line between the private, flirty Tyler and the business-only mogul in the spotlight. According to Derek, though, that line was already crossed several times. And now, Derek ain't just airing dirty laundry. He filed a full-blown $260 million 0-cents lawsuit against Tyler Perry in his studios. The accusations? Quid pro quo, workplace misconduct, and even battery. But Tyler's team? Oh, they clapped back hard. His lawyer called the lawsuit a scam, saying Derek was pulling a shakedown on purpose. Tyler will not be extorted, the statement read, but the internet? It's split right down the middle. Some say Derek might be finessing this for a bag. Others, they're remembering some deja vu. Because let's not forget,
You don't worry about cancel culture, huh?
Huh? Why would you cancel things that are great for the culture?
Right.
Like, I mean, like, I was like canceled, like Monique. Why is she canceled?
Mm-hmm.
I had to revisit that because it was like, it didn't make sense to me, babe. I'm like, so what did she do? She said something you didn't like? So she didn't work for 13 years after that?
Right.
And then I know Tyler wouldn't support that. He never told nobody not to work with her.
Tyler Perry?
Yeah. When I talked to him, he was like, nah, I never told no one not to work with her. And I said, but you Tyler Perry, and you never told anyone to
Work with it. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I never looked at it like that. Because I said, you just got to consider how strong your influence is at that point, because it hasn't happened.
Like, you say some things that I get scared.
back in 2023, actor Christian Keys went live on Instagram and dropped a bombshell of his own. No names, but baby, the dots practically connected themselves. Christian said that about 15 years ago, a very powerful billionaire in the industry allegedly tried to take advantage of him. And here's the kicker, he said he fought him off. But the man didn't take no for an answer. Christian claimed this mystery mogul kept pursuing him, pushing boundaries, applying pressure. And just like Derek's story, it all started at a private house party where Christian said he was intoxicated, set up to be vulnerable, the parallels, too close for comfort. And then Christian gave a huge clue. He described the man as a well-known philanthropist, someone who always gives back to the Black community. Immediately, fans' minds went ding, 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 Tyler Perry. Who else fits that profile to a T? At the time, folks were torn between two names, Tyler and Diddy. But now, with Derek's lawsuit painting such a specific picture, it's hard not to revisit Christian's story with fresh eyes. And just when you think this saga couldn't get more wild, guess who's in the background, watching all this like it's a movie, sipping tea with a whole lot of I told y'all so energy? Miss Monique? Oh yes, sis is sitting pretty while the man she's been calling out for years is suddenly center stage in the messiest Hollywood scandal of 2025. Let's rewind real quick. Monique has been dragging Tyler's name through the mud ever since she claimed he helped destroy her career. And why? Because she had the audacity to say no to working for free. That's it. That's all it took for Tyler to allegedly blacklist her, according to Mo. She's told her truth more than once, screamed it from the rooftops, begged for the world to see the puppet strings behind Hollywood's so-called nicest man. And now that these receipts are catching up with him, whew, baby, she is not crying any tears. In fact, word on the street is she sees all this chaos as pure karma served hot, spicy, and on a silver platter. And don't forget, she's not the only one who called out the shady behavior. 50 Cent even jumped in at one point, accusing Tyler of moving funny when it came to Monique and how she was treated. According to Mo, Tyler even admitted behind closed doors that he messed up. But guess what? That apology never came, not in public, not where it mattered. So with all this madness finally out in the open, Monique's silence speaks volumes. It's the quiet clapback of a woman who's been waiting for her moment of vindication. Meanwhile, the internet is in full chaos mode. Some folks are on Team Tyler, defending him with everything they've got, saying this is just another Hollywood takedown attempt. Others? They're raising their eyebrows, connecting receipts, and saying where there's smoke, there's fire. Because let's be real, this ain't just one disgruntled actor crying foul. When multiple stories start to line up, when Christian's story echoes Derek's, when Monique's blacklist claims now seem eerily consistent with Tyler's alleged private manipulation, it starts to look less like gossip and more like a pattern. And the texts? Oh, they're damning. The kind of messages you don't want the public seeing. Flirty, emotional, possessive, and manipulative all at once. Let's not ignore the power dynamic here either. Tyler isn't just a director, he's a kingmaker. For a young actor trying to break through, having Tyler Perry take interest in you can feel like a dream. But the moment that dream starts coming with uncomfortable strings attached, things get dangerous. And Derek wasn't just silent for years. He kept those texts, he kept receipts, and now he's flipping the whole script. It's wild to watch. Tyler, the man once hailed as the savior of black cinema, now being dragged into court with a $260 million 0-cents lawsuit that threatens everything he's built. And with every headline, with every leaked message, more people are starting to ask, who is Tyler Perry really? Because this isn't just about one man's behavior. This is about how much silence, power, and loyalty can cost in an industry built on image. It's about how people in power use that power, whether to uplift or to manipulate. And the line between those two, it's getting blurrier by the day. And we gotta ask, how many others are still scared to speak up? How many young actors have stories they buried because they thought nobody would believe them, because they didn't want to be blacklisted, because they thought challenging someone like Tyler would be career suicide? But here's what we know. People are finally talking, and when one person breaks the silence, more often follow. Monique saw this moment coming. She tried to tell us. Now the world's finally listening. And Tyler, well, his team is doing everything they can to shut this down, calling the claims ridiculous, a money grab, pure fiction. But that courtroom date is still coming, and those texts, they're still out there. So what's next? Will other men come forward? Will Christian Keys finally name names? Will Monique take the stand? One thing's for sure, Hollywood better brace itself, because this drama, it's just getting started. And whether Tyler Perry walks away from this unscathed or ends up watching his empire fall, it's clear that the days of secrets staying buried are over. Because when the curtain finally drops, the truth always takes center stage.
Okay, I wanted to go directly into this video, which I talked about, and then there's one more I want to go straight into. Okay? I don't know what his ex is suing him for or about, but here we go.
When it got really dark, I give you two words that helped me: encourage yourself. If the people around me were negative and naysayers, and listen, I had people that loved me that told me to stop. I was never going to make it. They weren't. My mother told me I was never going to make it. It wasn't that she was trying to hurt me. It's just that she couldn't see what God had planted in me. And her vision for me was to go and work at the phone company, make a few $100s a month and get some benefits. She would have been very happy with that. But when God puts something down on the inside of you and it starts growing, it will stretch everything inside of you till it gets out.
Tyler Perry's back in the headlines, but not 'cause of a hit movie. This time it's his ex, Delilah Beale, stirring up serious drama. After staying silent for years, she's finally breaking her silence and spilling what really ended things between them, and it's way messier than folks expected. She's not just talking about a quiet split, she's hinting at secrets, mystery identities, and even some shocking preferences. And it gets wilder. There's talk of a lawsuit accusing Perry of harassment and manipulation. Leaked texts are making the rounds, with whispers of sketchy behavior involving some male actors, plus people from his close circle suddenly disappearing without a trace. What once looked like a peaceful breakup might have actually been Delilah making a getaway from a deeper mess. Now that receipts are allegedly floating.
Similar to Cassie with Diddy. And it actually came out during Diddy's trial. Cassie enjoyed a lot of the stuff she was doing with him. Could this woman have enjoyed a lot of the stuff? But then maybe Tyler Perry was going to cut her off dead? So she's leaking everything? Not that she's making stuff up, because she's leaking text messages. But yeah, again, maybe she's looking for a big payout too. I'm not saying Tyler Perry's not guilty. If he's guilty, nail his ass to the wall and nail the people that taught him this shit to the wall. Their asses belong up there with him too. But, it just seems like now's the time to go after Tyler Perry.
Around and legal drama is heating up, Perry's carefully polished image could be cracking fast. As many already know, their relationship was always super private.
His public image. Will Smith was worried about his public image too. And there are rumors swirling around him and Jada Pinkett Smith and their kids.
No red carpets, no public confirmations of marriage or even an engagement. Then out of nowhere, Perry popped up on Instagram like, "I'm 51, single, and wondering what the next chapter in my life will look like." That was it. No shout out to Delilah, no real explanation.
Ladies, listen up. The video showing the pink salt trick that melts belly fat while you sleep has
just silence. People weren't buying it then, and they definitely aren't buying it now. Tyler Perry made his name by pouring emotion into his movies, but when it came to his personal life, he kept it locked up tight. That double standard didn't go unnoticed. While his films preached honesty and vulnerability, Perry gave zero details about his real-world relationships. That contrast had people raising their brows for years. Rumors about his sexuality had been swirling forever, and whenever someone even hinted at him being gay or closeted, he'd reportedly snap. Some folks believed he stayed with Delilah not for love, but to shut down the gossip.
Will Smith would snap too. Even with his movie 6 Degrees of Separation. He was really particular and he didn't want it to seem like he was playing a gay character.
Keeping up that family man image was key to protecting his empire. And let's be real, celebs using long-term relationships as a shield? That's not exactly new. Online, people were saying it straight up. The whole relationship looked staged. Neither Perry nor Delilah ever clapped back at the rumors, but that silence? It just kept the buzz alive. One person even posted he's still acting like he likes women. I guess he gone come out like DeBrat did. That post blew up when the Dixon lawsuit came to light, accusing Perry of misconduct and leaking private convos. Suddenly, that so-called peaceful breakup with Delilah didn't seem so peaceful anymore. It felt like she knew what was coming and dipped before the storm hit. But here's where it gets wild. It's not just the accusations, it's the details. Perry allegedly approached Dixon with acting offers, only for it to flip into late-night texts, suggestive messages, and even unwanted physical contact. The leaked texts, now viral, include messages like, "I would frack you," and "I haven't been touched in months."
So there I was in this moment trying to get to this place, trying to push, trying to make it happen, and I had to encourage myself. And what I mean by that is something to get away from everything negative that's around you. Block it out with all you can. Block it out completely and start putting on music and read things and read the word and things that encourage you, things that are going to make you stronger inside, because the strength, when it gets in this, comes from the soul. Everything else got to get in line. I think it comes from within first.
These weren't just random DMs. They've got timestamps, names, screenshots, and even sworn statements backing them up. So now, the whispers about Perry being closeted, they're not just rumors anymore. They're looking way too real. And
They are looking way too real, and so many people, and it's text messages from Tyler Perry people in him were talking back and forth. But here's another thing. If being gay isn't a bad thing, why do these guys fight like hell to keep a heterosexual image? Just a question.
And this is where Delilah gets pulled right back into the spotlight. If these claims turn out to be true, then her breakup with Perry wasn't just some quiet split. It starts looking like she was getting out on purpose. Maybe she had her suspicions for a long time, and when Dixon stepped forward with those receipts, it just confirmed everything she'd already seen behind closed doors. Some say Delilah allegedly knew about Perry's private life all along, but chose to stay quiet for the sake of their child, her public image, and maybe even to keep Perry's empire from crumbling. But when the lawsuit exploded online, people were quick to ask, is this the real reason she left? Remember, when Perry posted that vague "I'm single" message on Instagram, Delilah said nothing. No defense, no shade. She just vanished. And now, that silence feels loud, like she was backing away from a mess she saw coming a mile away. What used to be whispered in private is now being exposed for the whole world to see, and this lawsuit is the spark lighting the fuse. The court docs paint a timeline that's tough to ignore. Dixon claims he first crossed paths with Tyler Perry back in 2019 at an event. Perry supposedly spotted him, asked for his number, and started dropping hints about future roles. And just like that, boom! Dixon landed a gig. Everything seemed chill until it wasn't. About a year later, Dixon says Perry invited him to his home in Atlanta. Thinking it was a mentor move, or maybe a career step, Dixon showed up. But according to him, the night spiraled fast. Too much alcohol, crashing in a guest room, and waking up to Perry allegedly touching his thighs. Dixon says he shut it,
Which is what Christian Keys said in his Instagram, TikTok, whatever it was, video. The same thing. Alcohol, guest room, Tyler Perry touching him. This is what he said. I'm not saying he actually did it. So these allegations are from Christian Keys, who never named Tyler Perry, and now Derek Dixon, who has named Tyler Perry.
down immediately, but things got awkward after that. And then just straight up strange. Dixon claims Perry kept messaging him. This time the texts were loaded, and now they're flying all over the internet. One message reportedly said, "No straight man would be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless they wanted to you. I would." Another one asked what it would take for him to have guiltless time with Dixon. The messages are out there, and they're messy. But it gets deeper. Dixon says the character Perry gave him on one of his shows, a gay homeless man who trades intimacy for a place to stay, wasn't just a role. He claims it was exactly what Perry wanted from him in real life. According to Dixon, Perry told him straight up he wanted someone loyal, submissive, and totally dependent on him. Dixon says by that point he felt stuck. He didn't want to lose his shot in the industry, but he didn't feel safe either. He tried setting boundaries, telling Perry he wasn't into that, but the messages allegedly kept coming. Then came the breaking point. In 2020, during another visit, Dixon says Perry asked him, "Do you like it rough in bed?" before allegedly grabbing him by the throat and saying, "Look how excited you just got." Dixon says he pushed Perry off and got out of there, but that wasn't the end of it. He claims that on another night, Perry came into his guest room wearing nothing but underwear, pulled his shorts down, groped him, and whispered, "Relax and just let it happen." Dixon says he dodged the whole scene by quickly changing the subject and getting out of the situation. Fast forward to 2024, Dixon officially filed a complaint with the EEOC, quit the show, and hit Perry with a lawsuit. Perry's legal team came in.
Now, if you don't know what the EEOC is, it's equal opportunity. I forget what the CC is, but it's where you file complaints against your employer. And Tyler Perry was Derek Dixon's employer. So yeah, a lot of videos were saying, you know, how come Derek Dixon didn't report this? Well, apparently he did. He may or may not have gone to the police, but in 2024, he did with the EEOC. Now the lawsuit comes in 2025. So, he did report it.
Swinging, calling it a straight-up shakedown. One of Perry's lawyers said, "This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam." But Perry himself? Dead silent. And that silence is loud, especially for people who think Delilah saw this storm coming from a mile away and made her quiet exit before it all blew up. If Dixon's story shattered Perry's clean-cut image, some folks say it just confirmed what Delilah already lived through behind closed doors. According to sources close to the situation, she'd been worried long before the public had a clue. Allegedly, she noticed a pattern: late-night meetings, too close for comfort relationships with male staff, and Perry growing emotionally distant. People around her say the secretiveness made her uneasy, but what really pushed her to walk away were the whispers, rumors of inappropriate relationships and strange power dynamics behind the scenes. That's when she decided she'd had enough. And now, looking back, her silence feels like it wasn't just classy, it was calculated.
Also, often we forget when we see celebrities and people who've achieved so much, people like Tyler, we don't understand that middle point. You know a little bit of the beginning, you come from nothing and you build up to being this giant. But what did that gray area in middle look like? And that really defines someone's success, right? Just of that dedication and not giving up.
Some insiders say the final straw might have been texts like the ones now blowing up online. In Dixon's case, it's rumored that Delilah either saw those messages herself or caught wind of what Perry had been sending to other men, texts that definitely blurred the line between business and personal. Mix that with the pressure of holding up a fake public image. It might have been too much for her to keep pretending. Delilah hasn't said a word publicly, but gossip blogs are buzzing, saying she's been quietly backing the legal process from the sidelines. She hasn't defended Perry. She hasn't tried to clean up the mess. And to a lot of people, that silence speaks volumes. Insiders also claim that ever since she split from Perry, she's completely distanced herself from his entire circle, focusing on her own activism, modeling work, and keeping things low-key with her son. Maybe she dipped before the storm hit because she saw it coming. Or maybe she just got tired of faking it. Either way, what used to be...
Or maybe this pattern she was seeing, she wanted to get her son away from him. It's possible. Highly possible.
To be called a peaceful mutual breakup. Now it's looking more like a full-blown escape. And if Dixon's claims in court hold up, Delilah won't just be seen as the ex, she'll be seen as the woman who got out right on time. When the lawsuit dropped, the internet exploded. Court docs, screenshots, and those wild alleged texts started flying across timelines faster than anyone could fact-check them. As usual, social media split into two sides. Those ready to cancel Tyler Perry immediately, and those calling it all a setup. Some folks were genuinely shocked, while others, they weren't surprised at all. One person tweeted, I had no idea Tyler Perry is gay, and someone clapped back, y'all acting like this is news, he been fruity. The real shock? That it finally made it to court. And for many in the LGBTQ+ community, the lawsuit sparked something deeper, a conversation about identity. Was Perry really battling with who he is behind closed doors? So, what's really going on here? Is this a case of someone repressing their truth until it turned into something darker, or just another high-profile takedown fueled by fame, money, and controversy? Not everyone's buying the accusations. Some folks think the messages sound more flirty than threatening. One commenter wrote, "Seems like flirting and boring conversation, but people are so easily swayed. They'll believe anything about a black man." Another added, "These texts sound like an older dude trying to help a closeted younger one. He sounds fruity, but not dangerous." But others are riding hard for Dixon. One person...
He's in a position of power. That right there makes him dangerous if he is a predator. Especially if he's a predator. We'll see what goes on.
Posted, "Tyler Perry was definitely into Derek Dixon. Just read those texts." Then came a wave of backlash, aimed right at Dixon. Critics questioned the timing, the content, and even the story itself. People were asking for receipts. "I don't see any explicit texts in these screenshots, not even a direct hit, so Derek Dixon is lying," a skeptic wrote. Still, even without graphic messages, the pattern has people side-eyeing everything. The casting, the tone of the messages, the way Perry's character seemed to echo Dixon's own struggles. For some, it's too specific to be coincidence. For others, it's not enough to call it predatory, but it's definitely raised eyebrows. This wasn't some random drama. It feels targeted, and now Delilah's caught right in the crossfire. Her exit from Tyler Perry's world might have been a graceful move, or a calculated escape. But one thing's for sure, the internet won't let this one die down. Whether folks believe Derek Dixon or not, the opinions are non-stop. And Tyler's silence? It's only turning up the noise. Right now, all eyes are on him. Maybe Delilah walked away to protect her peace, or maybe she was guarding something way bigger. If you want the real tea as it drops, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay, this is the last video I wanted to add to this. It's from the Urban Noir. Jaguar Wright exposes Tyler Perry's secret white twinks. Tyler's payroll. I haven't found Jaguar Wright to be lying about anything she said so far. It's been taking time for the stuff to come out in the open, but I haven't found her to be lying. So let's see what she says.
Perry happened to Black Hollywood, and he did it by using stupid, ignorant, so-called Christian to fund all of his very homosexual behavior.
Recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, you know, the other guys that they have on the payroll.
Child, y'all better get a chair for this one because, baby, it's over for Tyler Perry. His alleged male victims are finally coming out to expose him for SAing them just to get roles in his movies. It turns out Tyler has been moving just like Diddy, and this is why his baby mama, Gelila Bekele, left him. In fact, the reason why all this tea is getting spilled after all these years is because he is currently getting sued by an actor from his TV show Oval, who claims Tyler brutally SA'd him and then threatened to destroy his career if he ever told anyone about it. He attached receipts, and baby, Tyler was on there saying things like, when you have a big D and you hit the G spot right, on these bottoms, they go crazy. Jaguar Wright tried to warn us about Tyler being at those Diddy parties and sleeping with men way younger than him, but people didn't believe her. Even Cat Williams told us the reason why Tyler loved playing Medea so much is because he secretly wanted to be a woman, but people ignored him too. And do y'all remember the time when Christian Keys also hinted at Tyler, wanting him to spread his cheeks for a role? Child, let's get into it, y'all, because there's a lot going on. This entire mess started when an actor from Tyler's TV show, The Oval, Derek Dixon, filed an explosive $260 million lawsuit against Tyler, accusing him of using his power to exploit young boys and even SAing them. He claimed that Tyler...
It still gets me, this 260 million number. A lot of people sue because of damage to their career. But if you watch The Oval, you'll see what I mean about Derek Dixon's acting. And I haven't heard anything of Derek Dixon saying nobody else is willing to hire him because of Tyler Perry. So what's this $260 million about? I don't know. Since I've heard about this, it just seems like a really odd number. 260 million? Very odd to me.
Promised him a successful acting career, but then subjected him to escalating sex harassment, battery, and professional retaliation. And when he didn't reciprocate Tyler's unwanted advances, he threatened to destroy his career. Derek said he first met Tyler back.
Yeah, threatened. But has he done it? And like I said, the only thing going for this guy, which this is Derek Dixon, his looks. Go watch The Oval. Go watch it. In my opinion, this guy cannot act. He can't. But go watch The Oval yourself and make your own decision on that.
Back in 2019 at a work event in Tyler's studio in Atlanta. Tyler then reached out to him to ask for his number, and they went on to talk for months about him possibly being in one of his shows. At some point, Tyler shifted the conversation from work to more intimate things, and that's when it clicked to him that Tyler was trying to get some of that badussy. At this point, Tyler was getting desperate, so he began throwing movie roles at him in an effort to get him in bed. The first
I haven't seen him in anything other than The Oval.
role was in the show Ruthless, and the second was in The Oval. Even after all this, Derek was still not willing to bend over, and Tyler allegedly threatened to kill off his character in the next season if he didn't let him have his way. The suit read,
Okay, Derek Dixon's character Dale was shot, because of his relationship with Kyle, which is a Secret Service guy, because Kyle has been having an affair for years with Donald. If you've watched The Oval, you know what I'm talking about. So Dale was shot. That could have been a threat to end his paycheck with The Oval. It could have been.
Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the sexual innuendos, Dixon's character would die in the next season. Perry always held this over Mr. Dixon's head, implying that his character Dale would survive if Dixon kept Perry happy.
Now, there were two other young black guys who weren't on the show anymore. And there was a young woman. She may have been mixed. She may have been really light-skinned. I don't know. The two guys were killed off. Okay? One guy was having a relationship with the president's daughter. The president's daughter on the Oval, her mother's parents took her to what I could only call a concentration camp, which her mother had been in as well, to make her fall in line. But we haven't seen that actress. The guy who was playing her boyfriend was killed off. Another guy named Barry. We were seeing him, and then all of a sudden, in the storyline, it was written that he vanished. There was even one part of the storyline where it claimed Barry's dead body was on the pharmacist owner's bed, Kareem, to where even Barry's on-again, off-again girlfriend, Sharon, thought Kareem had done something to Barry. And then later on in this last season, Barry was found tied to a chair, dead in an abandoned warehouse. So could those three have been actors that weren't going to deal with Tyler Perry and the crap, and they were written off? I also think the character of can't remember her name now, but she's Sam's wife. I believe she was a different actress in the beginning of the series, and then they switched her out. Which could be because Tyler Perry and the other writers or producers working on the show said, Priscilla, her character's name is Priscilla, that we can use her for other things, the character. So they switched the actress out. I could be wrong, it just seemed like that. So yeah, there's been a lot of things in the show that coincide with what Derek Dixon is bringing out now. Not saying it's definitely that, but it does match up.
Derek also claims there was a time when Tyler started interrogating him about his preferences while they were on set of The Oval. Tyler even went as far as pinning him to the wall and choking him while asking him if he likes it rough in bed, and then grabbed Derek by the throat while saying, "Look how excited you just got." He also said there was a time when he was staying in Tyler's guest house at his house when Tyler walked in on him wearing his underwear. He said Tyler yanked down his underwear, grabbed his butt, and said, "Relax," and just let it happen, and assured him it wasn't going to hurt. Dixon says he managed to rebuff this advance by changing the subject. Derek said he ended up requesting to have his character removed from the show and even rejected a job offer to be a writer on the show. But it didn't end there, y'all, because Derek also attached several text messages between him and Tyler was on there talking crazy. Like in this message, he said, "No straight man would be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless they wanted to F you. I would F you." But here's the thing though, y'all. A lot of people speculated that the reason Derek was spilling all this tea now is because he saw Tyler moving on to other men in the industry and got jealous. In fact, this photo of Tyler on the yacht with Mariah Carey's ex-boyfriend, Brian Tanaka, went viral, and people believe this is what really set him off to get back at Tyler. Folks,
This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
are saying Derek thought he was Tyler's only twink, but he quickly found out he wasn't the only man in the picture. Child, people even brought up how prior to Tyler trying to get Derek, he was also trying to get Christian Keys in bed. Apparently, the only reason he moved on to Derek was because Christian was giving him a hard time, and he desperately needed a twink to make his sugar baby. If y'all remember, Christian had the whole internet talking when he made a video talking about how a powerful man in the industry has been using his power to sleep with young men in exchange for movie roles. Christian didn't explicitly mention Tyler's name, but people were sure it was him. And guess what? Christian never bothered to come back and clear the air. He said he had even recorded his conversations with this man in which he was asking him to do some intimate things. But
If Christian Keys still has these audio recordings, and it is Tyler Perry, wow.
the reason why he wasn't putting all that out there is because his brother advised him not to do it, or else it would be all he would be known for.
Speaking to my brother about making a declaration of my experience, what I experienced with certain powers that be that were moving inappropriately. This person was second me for years. He was claiming, that he had multiple young black men on the payroll, and they just had to show up when he requested them to be there. Not just women that have to deal with it, but it's all.
This makes me think what's going on with his other shows, his other movies. I only know about the shows I watch. Makes you think.
Also men sometimes, and it'll be men tempting men. I was like, well, I gotta protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So.
And he's being very, very careful with the words he says. Extremely careful.
I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, you know, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above.
And remember how Derek said while he was staying at Tyler's guest house, Tyler grabbed his private parts when he walked in on him in his underwear? Well, Christian had the exact same experience. And it also happened in a guest house. Christian said he was drunk off Hennessy, and when he went into his room, Tyler came right in and tried grabbing his private parts multiple times. He said he tried pushing Tyler away, but he just kept coming back, desperately trying to get a hold of his private parts.
I'm interested to see which peers are mad at me because it may interfere with their work. But yeah, you get a grown man that knows that you're heterosexual and you're sleeping off Hennessy in his guest room because he says it's safe. Because I know I'm bad, so after a big party, won't say what type, won't say where. I'm asleep. I'm gone because I'm 4-5 Hennessy's deep and not short Hennessy's either. And this dude tries to climb into bed with you. So you spaz out, push him out, like what the get ready to leave. He apologizes, blame it on the alcohol. And you try to forgive him. So you're like, all right, man, all right, I'm gone. You shake his hand on the way out and he tries to grab you. He tries to shake and grab your equipment. And you spaz even more. Like, what the you doing, man? What the Oh, my bad. So you go to leave, he tries to do it again. Now, at that point, my only regret is not bringing multiple bones in this person's face.
At the time, a lot of people dragged Christian because they thought he was lying. But Jaguar Wright wasn't having it, and she stood 10 toes down behind him. She said she knew Tyler was capable of doing that because she saw Tyler freaking off at a Diddy party, and since then, Tyler allegedly gave a warning to all the actors on his show never to speak or engage with her or they would be fired.
Listen to this, guys. Show me what you think.
Actors, they're not allowed to consort with me. Because I saw you at a Diddy party, Tyler. And you were having a glorious time. I spent a lot of time in Miami, and I snuck around Star Island quite a bit. I know Christian isn't lying, but I need him to tell me what happened to my friends. And I don't care how long it's been since I talked to them. They will always be my friends. Always. Tim and Durrett and Lamont Rucker were not the same after they went on camera with Tyler Perry. Christian, I think you can tell me why.
During another heated interview, she accused Tyler of using the church to kickstart his career and destroying the Black Hollywood by making himself a monopoly so that he can scoop up all the money for himself and do the things he's being accused of doing now. She said even though he used the church as the starting ground for his movies, he barely donates to the church, and the one time he did was to Bishop T, who we all know has some allegations surrounding him too.
All of this gay agenda has to stop. To be homosexual is one thing. To be a gay person is fine. But to use it to manipulate and brainwash society? Like all these gay men singing all of these women, all of these love songs to women, even though they sucking as soon as they finish getting off stage. Like, Just let him sing to his boyfriend. Tyler Perry has been making black people look like buffoons and idiots for years and pawning it off as culture. Oh, this is our culture. This is how we is. No, that's not how we is. Tyler Perry happened to Black Hollywood, and he did it by using stupid, ignorant, so-called Christian to fund all of his very homosexual behavior. He ain't Richard Smallwood. He's a whole cross-dressing weirdo. Let's just be honest. It was Black American churches that made Tyler Perry rich. They went to all his plays. Like, Tyler Perry plays started in the churches. And he took all of that money and hustled that money and hustled that money and hustled that money into the television shows. And yet, how many churches does he donate to? Because the only one I've ever seen him donate to was T.D. Power Bottom's church. And they both attended the freak offs, you know, as brethren. Amen. Push the baby out.
So as y'all can see, Jaguar isn't a fan of Tyler, and she definitely isn't a fan now. She hasn't spoken publicly about his recent lawsuit yet, but best believe she'll have something nasty to say about it in a few days. Hell, maybe even in a few hours from now, and I'll be right here to give y'all all the tea. In the meantime, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, not shocked at all. Tyler Perry has been rumored to SA his male co-stars for decades. Finally, someone has the courage, integrity to not be bought off and take it to court. Another person said, Christian Keys could have gotten 260 million if he stood on business. He said Tyler assaulted him as well. I believed Christian Keys, but he recanted. I guess Tyler gave more opportunities and paid him. But now, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Tyler getting sued for touching these men? And do y'all think he was the one Christian was talking about? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
I don't know, but there you go. 3 videos on this subject. And there's plenty more out there.